My first Google I/O inside Google's Agentic AI moment. From May 19th to 20th, I had the chance to attend at the Google I/O for the very first time, and it honestly felt like stepping directly into the center of AI acceleration curve. It was my second trip to the United States and specifically to the San Francisco Bay Area within a very short period of time.
Just before that, I had already attended NVIDIA GTC, another event that felt like a glimpse into the infrastructure layer of the AI revolution. But Google I/O was different. GTC felt like the engine room, GPUs, data centers, chips, energy, scaling, and the physical substrate of AI. Google I/O felt like the moment where that infrastructure starts turning into products, agents, interfaces, workflows, and new ways of interacting with computers. For me personally, the trip was also deeply special. Only 2 years ago, I began seriously engaging with other people who were interested in AI. I started writing, posting, explaining, debating, learning in public, and trying to make sense of this technological shift as it unfolded in real time. Somehow, this turned into a growing community in a much larger reach than I could have ever imagined at the beginning. Being invited by Google to attend I/O for the first time felt like one of those moments where you briefly stop and realize this whole journey has become much bigger than you expected. The moment I arrived, I could feel the atmosphere immediately. There was a real sense of optimism in the air. Not a vague marketing optimism, but something more concrete. A belief that things are moving, that the tools are becoming real, and that AI is no longer only a research story or a benchmark race, but something that is about to reshape how people build, search, learn, create, and work. The mood was enthusiastic, energetic, and forward-looking. It felt like everyone there understood that we are in a period of rapid transition, and that the question is no longer whether AI will change the world, but how quickly, how deeply, and in which direction. Then came the keynote. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google and Alphabet, opened the event by framing the current moment as the beginning of Google's Agentic Gemini era. That phrase captured the central theme of the whole conference. AI systems are moving from passive assistants to more active agents that can reason, plan, use tools, and take action across workflows. Google announced a series of new products, models, and platform updates, including Gemini 3.5 Flash, Gemini Spark, Gemini Omni, a major upgrade to AI mode in Google Search, and Anti-Gravity 2.0, Google's agent-first development platform. What stood out to me was the scale. Google said that its systems are now processing more than 3.2 quadrillion tokens per month across its surfaces. More than 8.5 million developers are building with Google's model every month. AI mode in search has already surpassed 1 billion monthly users, while AI overviews reaches more than 2.5 billion monthly users. The Gemini app has grown to more than 900 million monthly users. These are not small product experience anymore. This is AI at consumer internet scale. One of the most important announcements was Gemini 3.5 Flash. Google presented it as the first model in its new Gemini 3.5 family, designed for frontier-level intelligence with the speed and efficiency needed for real-world agentic workflows. This is important because agents are not just about raw intelligence. They need latency, cost efficiency, tool use, long horizon planning, and reliability. A model that is smart but too slow or too expensive cannot easily become the everyday engine for billions of users or millions of developers. Gemini 3.5 Flash felt like Google's answer to that problem. Not just a model for chatting, but a model for action. Another major theme was Google Search itself. For more than 2 decades, search has been one of the most important interfaces for the internet. At I/O, Google made clear that search is being rebuilt around AI. AI mode is becoming more conversational, more multimodal, and more capable of helping users move from questions to actions. Search is no longer just about typing keywords and scanning links. It is becoming a reasoning layer over the web, personal context, files, images, videos, and live information. But for me, one of the most powerful moments came when Demis Hassabis, CEO of Google DeepMind, entered the stage. His remarks about AI and science were genuinely inspiring. He spoke about the possibility of a new golden age of scientific discovery, one in which AI does not merely automate existing processes, but helps us explore biology, chemistry, physics, medicine, and the structure of knowledge itself at a new speed. Hearing that from someone who has been central to a system like AlphaGo and AlphaFold was deeply moving. It made the whole event feel bigger than product launches. It became a glimpse into a future where AI could help humanity understand nature more deeply. And yet, the most exciting part of Google I/O started after the keynote. At the Creators Builder Corner, we had the opportunity to talk, listen, exchange ideas, attend presentations, join workshops, and walk around the entire event area again and again to absorb as much as possible. There were demos everywhere, conversations happening in every corner, and a strong feeling that developers, creators, researchers, and builders were all trying to understand the same thing. What becomes possible now? The workshops were especially valuable because they made the announcements tangible. It is one thing to hear about agents on stage. It is another thing to see how those tools fit into actual workflows, coding, prototyping, search, content creation, app development, multi-model interaction, and local or open models. Google's anti-gravity ecosystem was a particularly interesting example. The idea is not just to give developers a chatbot inside an IDE, but to create an agent-first development environment where AI can coordinate tasks, generate artifacts, use tools, and work across different surfaces. Later, Demis Hassabis came to speak with us directly, and I had the chance to have a short conversation with him. That was, without exaggeration, one of the most impressive moments I have experienced in many years. There are people whose work you follow from a distance for a long time, and then suddenly they are standing in front of you, speaking about the future of intelligence, science, and discovery. For someone who writes about AI every day, that moment was surreal. Shortly after that, I was able to conduct 2 interviews. The first one was with Robbie Stein. We spoke about AI mode, the future of Google search, and the role of TPUs in making these AI experiences more efficient and scalable. The conversation was fascinating because search is not just another product. It is one of the central gateways to knowledge on the internet. If search changes, the entire information ecosystem changes with it. The second interview was with Omar and Paige, both from Google DeepMind. We talked about local models, open models, the role of developer communities, and the increasingly intense competition coming from China. This was one of the most important strategic conversations of the event for me because it touched on several forces that are now shaping the AI ecosystem at the same time. Frontier models, open models, local inference, developer adoption, and geopolitical competition. It also made clear that the future of AI will not be defined by one single model or one single company, but by an entire ecosystem of researchers, engineers, creators, developers, and communities building on top of those tools. The day ended with a dinner together with many other content creators. We talked about AI, media, science, platforms, startups, the future of work, and what all of this means for society. It was one of those conversations where you realize that the technology is only one part of the story. The bigger story is cultural, economic, political, and philosophical. Looking back, Google I/O was much more than a conference for me. It was a deeply meaningful personal milestone, a learning experience, and a reminder of how quickly the world is changing. 2 years ago, I was simply trying to understand AI and share my thoughts with others. Now I was sitting in Mountain View, attending Google I/O, speaking with some of the people building the future, and witnessing one of the most important AI platform shifts in real time. I left the event with a very strong feeling. The next phase of AI will not only be about better models, it will be about agents, interfaces, distribution, infrastructure, trust, and usefulness at scale. Google I/O made that future feel more closer.